Yo, welcome to the KaneSaid Sports Show, and I'm your host, Kane Bradfield. And y'all know my slogan, the fame is free, but the grind costs, baby. Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of KaneSaid. And I'm your host, Kane Bradfield. Y'all know my slogan, the fame is free, but the grind costs, baby. Yo, listen, man, I got my dog in the house, man. Got my dog in the house. We're going to talk a little football. We're going to talk a little turkey, man. How you doing, man?
I'm good, baby. It's good to be here.
Yeah, hey, man, let the people know who you are, man.
Hey, I'm Matt Neighbors. I'm the co-offensive coordinator, director of college football recruiting at the Heritage School. Newton, Georgia, man.
Newton, Georgia, baby.
Baby.
Hey, man, listen, man, let me tell you something, man. It's a pleasure to have you, you know what I'm saying, on with me today, big dog. So we can do is, do a little chit and chat, man. You know what I mean?
You my guy, man. We go way back.
We go way back, baby. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, big dog, listen, man, let's talk about, you know what I'm saying, your story of you getting into the football. You know what I'm saying, man? When did that start for you, man?
Oh, man. So, I played at Callaway.
Okay.
I graduated in 06. I played for Coach Giddens for 3 years. I played for Coach Wiggins for 1 year.
Okay.
After that, I kind of, played around a little bit. I got into mixed martial arts.
Mixed martial, man, I remember them days, dog.
Yeah. So,
you and Isaac.
Yeah, that's one of my best friends, man.
Shout out to Isaac, man.
I love that guy, man. He was at my wedding. He's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and him, we got started in that stuff kind of together, and I rode on that little train for about 5 years. And while I was doing it, though, I got into coaching little league football, little kids.
Yeah.
And I coached a little Vikings team. I coached them.
You and Lance?
Yeah. I coached them off.
What up, Lance?
Lance, my guy, he's good.
Yeah.
Dude. But yeah, we coached them off and on, and I got to a point where I was doing both of them half the year, and I knew I kind of needed to. I either need to go all in on this football deal, pursue it, or stick with the MMA stuff. So I had my last fight in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Went out with a dub.
So okay, shout out to the dub, like
yeah.
So look, big dog. Let me stop it right there, man. First of all, man, how did you fall in love with MMA, man? How did that come about?
I don't know, man. I'm one of these crazy dudes, dog, that somehow lights get hit in the face.
Yeah.
So, that type of stuff didn't bother me, and it's the best adrenaline rush you'll ever get.
Really?
Oh, my God, man. You got, I would go back and do it today if I had to lose 50 pounds.
Right. Yo, I'm going to tell you what's crazy, though, man. I remember, man, when Isaac did a sparring section. Mm-hmm. But not the punch. We was doing the grappling on the ground. Bro, you get pooped out.
Oh, yeah. Unbelievable. Best shape I've ever been in my life.
Man, you get pooped out. I remember that. I remember I said, boy, I'm fatigued, man. Let's stop for a minute. Man, it's rough, dog.
And I tell some of these kids and stuff, they don't believe that I did it. They'll see pictures of me back.
Yeah.
Man, I'm shredded now.
Right.
That ain't you. Said, me.
That's me.
But it was, it is. It was an unbelievable experience. I wouldn't trade it for nothing. Like I said, if it wasn't for losing the 50 pounds,
you'll jump on again
right now. I love it.
Right.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable experience. I did it all the way up in 2012. I won my last fight, went out on dub, and I kind of went all in on this football deal. So
you had to.
Last thing.
Yeah. Okay, so now, as far as football, I know you did it. Like I said, you and Lance. You know what I'm saying. So that was your first taste of coaching football when you did Little League.
It was, yeah. And, we were really successful with the Little League thing. I think we won one state championship in that little Turkey Bowl deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then we won 3 Textile Bowls, which is, in LaGrange is a big deal. So we did really good with that. Coached a lot of really good kids that have came through.
Yeah.
So that was a really cool experience, building relationships with those guys. And,
right.
I loved it, man. I can't complain.
Can't change that. Okay. So what came next then? So
after that, we did the little MMA thing. Got after that last fight, and I just kind of started reaching out about high school jobs, trying to get in on just the staff and as a community coach, because I hadn't finished my degree at that time.
Right.
And so I started applying. I applied everywhere, within a little driving range. Well, Greenville calls me.
Okay.
So, Coach Farley was there at the time, I think. And he called me up. And crazy thing is, I come in, I never coached high school football in my life.
Right.
I didn't think anything of it. Well,
Yeah.
He hires me as the offensive coordinator off the rip. Like straight from Little League football.
Come here.
Straight from Little League football. So, I'm thinking, man, I got this, dog. This is fun. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, we go out first year, man, go 1-9. Dog, we were terrible. Like, and I couldn't tell you at the time what one technique was, 3 technique. I didn't know none of that stuff. I would go to Little League. He should have put me in that situation, but I'm glad he did.
Yeah. Because it gave you something though.
No doubt, and it kind of helped me out in future situations. But that next year, man, I was like, man, I can't do this no more. I'm a competitor, so I hate losing. So I went to all these clinics. I went up to Gainesville with Bruce Miller. Bruce Miller was the head coach of Gainesville when Deshaun Watson was there.
Okay.
And I went up there for a week and kind of watched him and seen Deshaun was practicing and just got their whole offense. And I came back and installed that whole offense. And that next year, we started out 3-0. Green was ranked top 10 in the state. We were scorching. I think we were averaging, close to 40 a game.
Wow, sir.
And made it to the second round of playoffs that year. We lost to Marion. Last time Green was been to the playoffs.
Really?
Was 2014. So coached some really good kids, man. A lot of guys that I still have relationships with. But it was a cool place, man. It's different. Greenville was different.
Right.
So, shout out to Coach Wynn too, man. Like he's doing a great job there. He's a friend of mine, doing a hell of a job at that place.
Man, that's what's up, man.
So then we go from there.
Okay.
So we leave. So I kind of was like, I don't really like doing this little commute. Let me see if I can get in Troup County because I'm still living in Troup County.
Yeah.
So I talked to Wiggins. I think head coach of Troup at that time was Kendall.
Okay.
I think, and Coach Burks was at LaGrange.
Okay.
I sent all them off, and he hit me back. He called me that night. He said he wanted to talk, so I go over there and talk to him. And he hires me as a quarterback coach.
Okay.
2015. I was jacked, man. Loved it. Jay Floyd was the offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
And unbelievable dude, man. He turned out to be he's one of my best friends right now. Me and him still talk. Great dude, taught me a ton. And Coach Burks taught me a ton too.
Most definitely, man.
That dude is by far the best wide receiver coach I've ever seen.
Most definitely.
Unreal. That dude's unreal.
I sign off on that.
Like that dude will sit there and he'll spend 3 days on their stance. I ain't never seen nothing like it. Like I try telling the guys that coach receivers for me now that, like, dude, I got to get you in touch with Coach Burks, man. Like, he'll get you right.
Yeah, because he set that bar high, man.
Yeah, the unbelievable wide receiver guy. And so I coached with him that year. We were really good. That was the year we had Laperion. It was Laperion's junior year.
Man, I remember that boy.
Laperion was like one of my sons, man. I love that kid. I coached him when he was little. That's the crazy part. Coach played for me when he was little. And I think he had like 3,500 yards of offense that year, by himself. It was real. I mean, he's one of the best players I've ever coached, and it was a blessing to have him.
Yeah.
So we end up, we started out really hot that year. I think it was 3 or 4-0. Had LaGrange back ranked, and then we kind of fell off because he started getting hurt and banged up because he was just a little guy taking a lot of hits.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting, I think, in a play-in game or something for the playoffs, and he couldn't play.
Man.
I'll tell you a funny story though. Funny story about Laperion for people that want to know how a competitor that dude is.
Let me get it.
All right, so he's out in this play-in game. He had broke his big toe the week before, and for a kid like him, like, hey, you can't do anything. Can't run, and he's devastated. We don't find out he can't play till probably 2 hours for the game, because it's a play-in game. Like we played Saturday, and we had to come in and play the play-in game Monday. It was one of them deals, and so he's distraught. I talk him down, all this type of stuff. Well, we get on bus, we go down to Harris County. 3 teams playing in Harris County, and Perry done snuck his stuff on the bus.
No, man.
Snuck his stuff on the bus, yeah. So we go out, and I think we lose the first little half, so we had to play the next team in a half to get into the playoffs. And, man, we're down like 40 seconds left in the game. We had to score. And I look over, man, and this cat full dressed,
ready to
over
go.
beside me. He's like, Coach, I'm ready to go. I'm good to go. Let's go.
Ready to
I'm
go.
like, dog, he can't.
We can't do
He
right.
can't.
Right.
That
I want you
kid,
to.
People don't realize how big of a pit bull like
Yes,
man.
most
Like,
definitely, man.
Like he demands respect, man. I love that kid, man. And I think, he broke his leg in the spring game at West Georgia this year. Had to have surgery. So I think if he can get healthy, he'll have a shot at the league.
Most definitely, man.
Especially
He's
a kid
special.
returner. Yeah.
He's special, man. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So, we do that deal. So I'm there for a year, and the opportunity arose to go to Callaway, where I played at. I had a good friend of mine that was coaching over there. He reached out to me because their running back coach was leaving, and he said, I talked to him for you, and I went and talked to Coach Wiggins, and he hired me on as the running backs coach. And my whole thing was I was like, I want to do the recruiting there. That was my whole thing. Because I felt like, a lot of kids that kind of fell under the radar at Callaway. And I felt like I could do a really good job at that stuff.
Yeah.
That's something I kind of had a passion for that I wanted to do. So I go over there, 2016, goes running backs, had DJ Atkins. That was the year Callaway made it to the semis.
Yeah, I remember them years, though.
Yeah, we lost, I think we lost Benedictine in the semis. And DJ, 2,300 yards rushing.
That's crazy.
Another one of my Mount Rushmore guys, man. I love that kid.
Wow.
Great player. He's not playing anymore. He's actually boxing.
Really?
Yeah, crazy. He's into boxing now. But he played at Western Carolina. Really good player. Go into the net. That was Tank's freshman year.
Okay.
And people know the history of me and him. That kid's like my son. Talk to him all the time. Talked to him the other day. But he about to light Akron up today.
But he ready, boy.
So,
he ready. He ready.
He just dropped his little website. Too,
I saw that. Yeah.
That's a cool little deal, man. Y'all got to get on there and get that merch.
Yeah, man.
He got some nice little merch.
Hey, man, listen. I tell everybody, man, if you can, take advantage of what they offering right now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Put your good system together, and I think he got a good system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where he can benefit.
He did. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
His mom reached out to me, and she wanted to, what was the best avenue for him to go and all that stuff. Because there's a lot of people that are hustling. And
That's what I'm about to say, man. A lot of people out there trying to get over at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they hustling those kids, and but she got him. He's with some good people.
Perfect.
I know
man.
he had actually talked to LeBron James's representatives.
Wow.
About all that stuff. So I don't know if he ever ended up with them or not, but whoever he's with did a good job with his branding and all that stuff. He's got some cool little merch, so people need to go
Good,
look
man.
at that.
Shout out to Tank, man.
So yeah, shout out to my guy. He's gonna go kill it today.
Man, for sure.
But so had him his freshman year. I knew he was gonna be a special kid. Told him that. Told his mom that. Just trust me with him. Next year, that was his sophomore year. I had DJ back, so I had both of those cats in the backfield.
Oh my gosh.
Man, we were really good. We ended up going to Brooks County, and then go back to 16. I think we signed. That was the first year that I was there. I signed in class, first ever signing class I had. We signed 5 kids. 4 out of the 5 were Division I guys. And we'll get on the recruiting stuff in a little bit. I'll tell you a little bit about that. But goes to 2017. We go to the quarters. Lost to Brooks County. Brooks County's a different beast, man. I went down there. I still have nightmares about that game.
For real, big dog.
Yeah, me and I think we had like negative 33 yards
What?
or something. So that was crazy with all the cats we had.
Mm-hmm.
And that signing class, which was DJ and DQ Wilkerson, Sean Terrell, all those guys. I think we signed 16 in that class. That was the biggest class Callaway had ever had, signing class, and it was up there in Troup County as one of the top classes in Troup County history. Then we go to Tank's junior year, and that was when he kind of went off. That 2017 year, we had 3 guys that rushed for 1,000 yards.
Wowzers.
DJ, Tank, and Quay Hines. Quay Hines is a really good player. And then, we go to Tank's junior year. I had Tank and Quay back. That was the year we lost to Rockmart in the semis. And, I still feel like we kind of got hosed in that game on some calls. But we were better than them. That was, if we would have won that game, I 110% believe we would have waxed her.
For real, big dog.
Yeah.
Big dog, so you believe that?
Yeah, there ain't no doubt. I think they know it too.
Right.
So, but they Rockmart beat us. It is what it is. But Tank had an unbelievable year that year. I think he ran for 2,500 yards. That was kind of the year that got him on the map, even though he had kind of blew up before then in recruiting. And him and Quay. Yeah. Quay had a great year that year too. I'll never forget we played Hateville in second round that year. Hateville #1 in state. Everybody thought we was about to go get killed, and we ran for like 500 yards.
That's crazy.
I don't think Demetrius ever even threw the ball the whole game.
Really?
No, he held.
Turn and give.
It was tanking Quay all night. Both of them ran for over 200 yards, I think.
Wow.
And so it was a really special year. During that time, all this during this time that from 2015 to 18, I went back to college to finish my degree.
Okay.
I was like, I got to do this for a living. That's the only way I can ever be a head coach too.
Yeah.
To get my degree, because that was my ultimate goal. And so I finished my degree, right after 2018, and Coach Wiggins knew that going in. I need to have a job. I can't stay here for that, because that's people that don't know about coaching. 90% of your salary is the teaching. It's not unless you in one of these South Georgia places or these monster schools. I mean, your salary is based on your teaching.
Based on your teaching.
So I told him that. They kind of come up with some stuff that wasn't directed with my degree about keeping me at. That really wasn't what I wanted to do.
I got you.
So
make a decision.
Yeah. And so I ended up taking a job at Mount Zion Carroll. And I was up there as the running backs coach. Unbelievable place. One of my mentors is there, David Thrower. I don't know if you know him. Used to coach at Troop back in the day. He's like a dad figure to me.
Wow.
So, unbelievable. I talked to him right before I came in here. He's taught me so much about the game and just in general everything in life. And so I was up there with him for a year. Him and Brad Gordon, great dudes. Justin Joyner, another good dude. We had a rough year that year, but we were changing the stuff around there. Like while I was there, we brought in, I'm a big swag guy.
Okay.
Okay. I come from the Matt Napier.
Yeah. So you know what's up.
Yeah. So I brought in all these new Nike uniforms up there. We talk them into getting brand new turf. They put in a new track at the field. We getting all this hype stuff. And so let's go back to 18 first. When I was at before I left Callaway, we had the biggest signing class in the history of Troop County. 21 kids. 21 kids signed to go to college.
21 kids.
21 kids. I think 5 of those guys were Division I, a bunch of D2 guys.
Yeah.
NAI, some JUCO kids, but I was proud of that, man. That recruiting stuff's a game changer because it changes kids' lives.
Yeah.
So that's something that kind of drives me with that. So we do that. I take the job at Mount Zion. I go up there, change the kind of culture there. We struggle. We go 1-9 because we lost a lot of players. But I had a chance to coach some kids. Different type of place. Every place I've been has been different. Mount Zion is if you ever been to the place, it's in the middle of nowhere. Like, dog, I'm talking about people don't even. I used to call college coaches to come out here to see these kids.
Yeah, they're like, how to get there?
They go to Mount Zion, Jonesboro. I didn't even know it existed.
Right.
And you couldn't find it either. Like you put it in your navigation, wouldn't take you there. So really cool place. But I signed 5 kids there. Most kids in the history of the school. 2 of those guys were Division I kids. One signed with Illinois State. The other one signed with Arkansas Pine Bluff. During that whole process of going 1-9, that offseason, we was like, man, we got to change this. We got to change this. And we knew we had some kids back. We had a couple of OLs that were Division I kids. We had a bunch of kids transfer in from Carrollton and some of these places. So we knew we was about to be soft together.
Yeah.
Well, I'm fired up, man. I was all in. Best day job I've ever had.
Really?
Oh, yeah, Mount Zion. That place, my teaching job there was unreal, man. Like, I loved it. And the clientele, the kids, they worked their butts off for you in the weight room. And so by March, I'm all in. I've been thinking about moving to Carrollton.
Right,
I got my family up there and everything. And here comes March, Matt Napier takes LeGray's job. He calls me about a week before he takes the job. For people that don't know, man, Matt Napier's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Love that dude. And I'm not in the coaching profession. This may sound it's gonna sound like I'm very arrogant when I say this, but I'm not loyal to a lot of people in coaching. I'm just not. Coaching is a business to me. I'm looking out for numero uno.
Okay.
But Matt Napier's on that very few that I'm loyal to.
He's loyal to, yeah.
Because that dude, I 110% believe in everything he did. He taught me a ton from an offensive standpoint. The dude's an offensive genius. People don't realize how genius this dude is. Like the dude don't have a playbook. Like it literally it's in here.
Woo.
Like he's like that. And so I love that dude. He's did a lot for me, but he calls me about a week before and said, LaGrange is talking to me about coming over as head coach. Like, I ain't doing it, dog. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I ain't coming back to the county.
Right.
And so because I just didn't, I didn't feel comfortable down here. It wasn't a place that I felt comfortable at, even though I had lived down here and my wife works in the school system. My kids go to school down here. It's just like I didn't feel comfortable down here. So he stays on me. I turned him down 3 times.
No.
3 times. And I was like, man, I ain't doing it. And then, Burton Thomas took the defense coordinator job.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Burton at the time. Burton got my number. He calls me. We start to develop a relationship. He's one of my really good friends now. I love that dude. And they talked me into it. Man.
So it took 4 times. So you killed the little saying said third time charm. So you killed that out.
I went past that. Yeah,
right.
I said, no, you didn't get me back.
Right.
And he throws it on like, I ain't taking the job without you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah. So, I kind of felt obligated.
Yeah.
And I knew what he's going to do.
Yeah.
I knew, like, there was never a question.
It's on a matter of time type deal.
Yeah. Because, I mean, people don't understand LaGrange has dudes.
Right.
They never lost the dudes. They just kind of, they got put in a really tough region. Coach Gibbs is a hell of a ball coach.
Right.
People don't give him enough credit either. He was a hell of a ball coach. It's just, I think when he took that job, I don't think he realized he's about to be put in there with Cartersville, Sandy Creek, all those guys.
Right.
So he kind of got the short end of the stick.
Mm-hmm. And then you're gonna, I'm telling you, that you're gonna need 2 big dog. You know what I'm saying? Every head coach gotta have a team around. I ain't talking about the players.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about the coaches.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, them numbers gotta be.
No doubt. And I think,
know what I'm saying?
I think that hurt him a little bit.
Yeah, most definitely.
He couldn't do it all by himself.
No.
And so I knew when Matt got it, he was gonna do an unbelievable job. And so I was like, yeah, let me go ahead on for this ride.
Right.
I'll jump on the ride, and I knew we'd kill it, and I'd be looking at probably a pretty big head coaching job down the road. Right. And because people know LaGrange, no matter how bad they are, it doesn't matter. LaGrange is LaGrange.
LaGrange is LaGrange.
And I don't care. And this is probably going to piss some people off. I say this. LaGrange is king in this county. Right. It don't matter who wins state championships. It don't matter what you do. They can go 0-10. They still gonna be the bell of the ball. Right. So, I feel that. It just is what it is. Mm-hmm. And so go over there, man. We the COVID stuff hits. Man. That was a interesting thing. We didn't do any spring. We didn't really get going with kids until the summer, and late in the summer at that. We trying to develop relationships with kids, figure out what we got, all this stuff. So it was crazy. We got a schedule together, all this stuff. Brought in, and Matt brought in an unbelievable staff that year. Like you talking about with the coaches. I mean, you talking about, me and him and Burton Thomas, Stephen Tuck, coaching receivers. Stephen Tuck's, I talk about Burt's. He's the second best wide receiver coach I ever seen. Yeah. Him and Kareem Donate, both those dudes are unbelievable. But I love Tuck. He's one of my really good friends. And then, I had Thomas Cox, I think, was on that. Yeah, he was on that staff. He was he's former head coach, coaching tight ends. Had Coach Crocker, Coach Pleasance. Both those dudes coached with Pardue back in the day. Man, Ben Thrasher. Ben Thrasher's been a DC at multiple places, coaching secondary. I mean, we had a nice staff. Nice. Right. And so we go out, and LaGrange had zero expectations. I think, were they 0-10 the year before then? Or man, either 0-10 or 1-9. It wasn't. So everybody thought we were crazy. You can't win there. We go out against Upson Lee and almost won the game. We lost, but we competed. Yeah. And then after that, we kind of got on the road. Oh, yes. We got to win, and I had Clay Gibbs, another one of my Mount Rushmore guys. I love that kid. The hardest working kid I've ever seen. That kid is a grinder. Like you couldn't stop him from working. Right. And so he was a unbelievable player. He led 4A, and people don't understand. Like, they look at his numbers last year, and he had 1,700 yards, and he didn't play against nobody. Blah blah blah. Dude, he played in 7 games and had 1,700 yards. That's crazy. He can't help who he plays against. Right. It's on the schedule. That's our region. You got to ride with the schedule. Yeah. So that kid's a baller, and shout out to him. And he's starting his college career today. He's at Air Force, playing Division I football. Love that kid. He's gonna do big things in life. Most definitely. But we have a really good year. We get hot. We go down. The Carver thing. We play Carver good. I think we're tied with them at the half, or we're leading at the half. They come out second half and they beat us. Then, you know, we had the whole incident happen with Trey Cole. Last year was a crazy year. You talking about COVID. We all coming in, new staff, you know, and then Trey passes away in the car wreck. Something that you don't, you know, I had never experienced as a coach before, and that was, you know, I hope I don't ever have to experience that again. You know, all that happened. We had practice, and it's the week of troop that we're playing.
I remember, man, bro. I remember because I came and did the motivational speech of the Troop and LaGrange game.
That's right.
I remember the temperature. Right. I remember that, man. Like I remember how
I knew you were either that game or you were before.
The Troop game. I remember coming in. You know, I'm like, wow, you talking about dealing with stuff.
It was, man. You know, and the crazy part is I had a relationship with Trey because Trey was at Callaway to begin with. And when we got to LaGrange, I guess he had transferred during that process before we got there. And so I had him at Callaway too. I already had a relationship with him. Great kid, man. And then we ended up going to we come to LaGrange. He's there. We knew what we had. He was a great player. And I'll never forget that Thursday that all that happened. He had gotten in he had left his phone. We had a Thursday walk through practice. And he had left his phone in class. And he come in late. He's like, Coach, I got to go run and get my phone. I left it in class. I said, all right, you better not be late. I'm going to roll you at practice.
Yeah.
And he comes 5 minutes late. You know, so I got him at practice. I rolled him. I said, Trey, don't do that. No, don't do that again, man. You know you can't be late.
Yeah.
I got you, Coach. I got you. Man. I mean, I last seen him smiling face.
Wow.
2 hours later, all that stuff happened.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
So that game got moved to Saturday. So we ended up playing Troop on a Saturday with all that stuff going on.
Yep.
Then on top of it, I think we had like 7 starters out in that game now because of COVID. Got hit on that too. So we go in against county rival, 8 guys out, and lose 14-7. We were clearly the better team. There was no doubt about it. But you know, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. So we end up we beat Hardaway to get in to the playoffs as the 2 seed.
Yep.
And we go in, play New Hampshire first round, beat them. Play Perry in second round, and Perry, we knew watching on film, it was gonna be tough. You know, they were a little more seasoned than we were, and they created some issues for us. We went out there and played them hard, and they beat us. And they're a really good team. Last night, I think they beat Crisp County, and they returned a lot of those guys. So after that, you know, we had the whole signing class for LaGrange. I signed, I think 8 then. I think we signed 3 Division I guys.
Mm-hmm.
Really good class with that. Knew we had a lot of stuff, really good stuff happening. We were young.
Yeah.
You know, LaGrange is young. People don't realize that like they're killing people this year. That LaGrange is really gonna be salty next year.
Really big dog.
That's the year.
Woo.
So we knew that, and so I kind of get approached in the off season by Jake Copeland.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Copeland, people don't know, he's a former college coach. He coached at Lenore Ryan, coached at Jacksonville. I had developed a relationship with him during recruiting, just doing college recruiting. And me and him known each other for a while. He's actually from Noonan. Well, he had took the athletic director and head coaching job at Heritage, a little private school in Noonan. And he calls me up, wants me to come down there and check it out. And I'm like, man, you know, I don't know about all this.
Right.
So I go down, check it out. Meet with him. He tours me on the place. He's like, it's like a recruiting business. He's trying to get me to come up there, and unbelievable, man. Like I was blown away by the place. For people that haven't ever seen Heritage, you need to.
Like
it's,
that.
It's the smallest playing Georgia high school, GHSA school. There's only 178 students in the school. High school, you know, pre-K through 12. I think it's like 470. But the place sits on like 70 acres in Coweta County in the middle of a pecan orchard. So it almost looks like the Grove at Ole Miss.
Okay.
It looks just like it.
Okay.
So it's really cool. The facilities are unbelievable. I can't say enough about the place, man. It's a really cool place. So I was blown away. And he offers me, you know, the co-OC job and coaching running backs, director of college football recruiting. And then on top of it, my classes, you know, private school, you don't teach as many classes.
Right.
You know, so I get my, you know, he throws me a number out there from a salary standpoint, and my money's about the same.
Right. So you're like, oh, right.
I'm teaching half the class.
Right.
And I was thinking, man, this got me thinking.
Yeah.
So, I go home, talk to my wife, and I ended up making that move, that was a tough decision. People don't, I've always felt like I bounced around a lot in my coaching career.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I've upgraded everywhere I've went in some type of aspect. Not necessarily from a football aspect, going from LaGrange to Heritage, but I think my job aspect I think was better. And then the coaching thing, I seen a lot of potential there.
I like
our head of school there, Kristen Skelly's unbelievable. She gives us all the resources we need to be successful. She gave us the spots to hire coaches we wanted.
Yeah.
She's facility upgrades.
She all in this thing.
Yeah. I mean, she's like, look, I don't care what you do, win. And that's what you want from an administrator. So she did that, and so we went out. We hired an unbelievable coaching staff. Ed Williams is the other co-OC with me. He came from Pace Academy. He's the one that coached Andrew Thomas, Jamare Sawyer, all those guys. He's their mentor. Coached at Calhoun, won a state championship at Calhoun. Unbelievable ball coach. He coaches our OL too. And went out and hired Jake Jenkins, coaching quarterbacks. He's got a long time coach in South Carolina. Has been an OC at multiple places. He's a hell of a ball coach. Coach Copeland coaches our defense, and he's a great defensive mind, young guy. And then hired Keyshawn Freeman, coaching linebackers, man. That's my guy. Unbelievable person, man. That dude's one of the greatest people you'll meet.
Yeah.
And we got him, and he's working at the school in the job. He coaches our linebackers. He's actually our head middle school coach. The crazy part is with Heritage, you don't really have a JV, but your middle school and varsity are all together. So we all coach the middle school and we coach the varsity. So you kind of get it, but you get all those kids. They got developmental football, 4th, 5th grade, all that stuff. So you got all these kids all the way up from their little.
Right.
So it's really cool. You develop those guys that know your system. So Keyshawn runs the whole middle school deal, and Trevor Henson coaches our D-line. He was a college coach at Huntington College, really good ball coach. So I mean, we got a heck of a staff, and we got players, man. People don't realize we got 29 guys on the roster.
Okay.
And we got our center is committed to Western Kentucky. Really good player, Wyatt Anderson. He's 6'3", 285 pounds. And then we got a running back, man. And I got a running back up here that has the potential to be one of the most special players I've ever coached.
Really?
And he's so raw, man. And me saying that, some of the guys I've coached, that's a big statement. So man, he's 6'3", 250 pounds at running back. And he's running a low 4.7, 250. I mean, he looks like Derrick Henry.
Really?
He's pretty now. And he plays hard, great player. He's got a lot of Division I stuff going on. We got a wide receiver transfer in from Stars Mill, 6'4", 190 pounds, freak show. He's a Division I cat. We got another receiver, 6'5", 180 pounds, came from McIntosh, unbelievable player. So, those are just senior guys. Hugh Barbie, our quarterback, came from Flint River, had, 0 going on. I don't know how, because, his film's unbelievable.
Man.
And first day he comes over to Heritage, he pops off from Florida International.
Just like that.
He's an unbelievable player. He's another Division I kid. So we got those type of kids.
Yeah.
The problem is you just don't have depth. Last year, your issue you run into with, hopefully we can fix in the future. And we just got, you got to figure out how to steal reps on special teams. You got to be able to, so a lot of guys got to play both ways.
Got to play both ways, yeah.
So, we got, I think 5 guys that pretty much play all night, and it's mostly our guys.
Okay.
And we got some really talented juniors too. Jacob Miles, baby. Juice.
Yeah.
Juice.
Shout out to Big Juice.
I think, he played his first 2 years at Callaway. Came up here, and he's a beast, man.
That's what's up.
You can't block the dude. He's got ball skills. He's a legit 6'1.5", 250 pounds. He's hard edge. He brings this type of physicality that kids at Heritage aren't used to.
Okay.
They're not used to that. He's been at Callaway, and that place is tough at practice, and he's had to survive.
Yeah.
He comes up there, and these kids don't get it.
They're probably like, what the world going on? Yeah.
And he gets in some of these games, and you can't block him.
Yeah.
And we got the number 1 kicker in the state for next year. Mac Miko, he can boom. He's money from 50.
Really?
Money.
See, that's important.
Best kicker I've ever had.
That's important, that big dog. Them.
Yeah. And the crazy part, he's not just a kicker. Like he starts at free safety.
What?
He'll stroke you too. Now.
Really?
Yeah, he's just a good athlete. And so yeah, we got, and you know, we're bringing in our middle school team is loaded. We'll probably win the championship, I think, in middle school. We're big up front. I mean, we got some good young kids, so it's coming.
Yeah,
you know, we got
it's part of that process.
Yeah, yeah, and we got facility upgrades that are coming, man. And we got 100-yard indoor that is in the production. Yeah,
y'all
not 60.
Y'all about to set that bar high though.
Oh yeah. We ain't got the 60s like some of these other people, man.
Y'all got 100.
We going 100. And so you know that's in the works. That'll be done in the next 5 years. You know, hopefully turf field within the next 5 years. They're expanding the weight room, coaching offices, field house, new locker rooms, new track. I mean, it's
wowzers.
about to go,
man. I love it, man. I love it, man.
So, you know, I think it's going to be one of the premier programs in private schools in Georgia in the next 5 years. There's no doubt in my mind. And we got some other things in the works. It's going to be a game changer.
Yeah.
I don't want to say right now.
Yeah.
You know, when that goes down, that's going to be big.
I can't wait to hear that. Yeah. But big dog, man, listen, I want to tap into recruiting, man. You know, I know you know, I want to talk about the process of recruiting. You know what I mean? I know over the years, man, you, like you said earlier, man, you have impacted a whole lot of schools in terms of college recruiting, man. So first of all, man, let's talk about relationships. Because it takes relationships.
Yep.
You know what I mean? How did you first build that, though?
Man, it's crazy. So I pretty much had to teach myself how to do this.
Okay.
You know, I kind of seen a lot of this stuff going on, and I'm like, you know, let's see if I can figure this stuff out. And I mean, I didn't reach out to nobody. I didn't know who to reach out to it.
Yeah.
So I think it was like 2015 I started playing around with it, and I got a Twitter at that time. That was when Twitter was just starting to kind of really hit. And I just started following a bunch of coaches. You know, and at that time there was no blockage on Twitter, so you could just straight direct message them. Yeah. And it went straight to the phone like a text. So I'd ask them, you know, for their cell numbers, like, can I get your email, your cell number, all that stuff, and they was yeah, and it kind of snowballed from there to me building these relationships and this clientele to where at this point right now, I have a cell phone contact at every single Division I school in the country. Every one of them. I'm talking about from UCLA to North Dakota State, to Eastern Washington, all the way down to here to Florida, Miami, Georgia. Right. You know, so I did that, and I just kind of did it on my own, and you know, started building relationships. And look, college recruiting is all about having players. If you ain't got the players, you know, you can't build those relationships. Right. And so I end up going to Callaway, and when I went to Callaway, they had a bunch of players nobody knew about. Right. Because I didn't feel like it was being done right at the time. So, you know, I go in there, but they had enough huge guys that people knew who Callaway was. Right. So I go in there, man, and these coaches start coming in the spring and seeing these dudes, and it just snowballed. Yeah. You know, and then Tank comes along, and Tank just takes it to a whole nother level because he's a national guy. Right. Keandre Jones was there, national guy. Tate Johnson comes down, he's a national guy. Jacob Freeman was a national. Braylon Sanders. So, you know, all that turns into you just getting numbers and you building relationships with these guys. And I mean, there's probably 25, 30 major college coaches that, you know, I talk to once a week. I have unbelievable relationships with. You know, that some of them that will almost trust me so much that I send a kid to them. They like, I don't even need to see his film. He's an offer guy. Yeah. You know, it's almost to that standpoint. So it is. I mean, I kind of did it on my own and built it up. And I think other than Kenyatta Watson, who's my guy now, who's now, you know, he was at Grayson for a long time doing recruiting. And he's now, he took a college job at Florida State. He's at Florida State doing some pro liaison stuff. And besides him, I signed more kids in the state of Georgia the last 5 years than anybody. Really? From a number standpoint. So, and he was doing it now. And Kenyatta, I mean, he's the best at it there he is now. He can go. Nobody touching him, but he was doing it at Grayson now. I was doing it at Callaway.
It's a difference now.
Yeah. So, you know, you talking about a school 800-900 kids. He was doing it one with 3,000 kids. But so, you know, I killed it from that aspect, and you know, it's a big program thing. When you sign kids like that, well, then kids want to play for you. End of the day, you know, it has nothing to do with you recruiting kids or you know, everybody thinks that these kids transfer because somebody's recruiting them. That's not true.
Nah.
You know, there's some that do.
Right.
That's not true. Like when you do stuff right, they come.
Right.
You know, so
right.
you know, a lot of that happened, and
so look, let me ask you this though, man. So you know, I know Division I athletes, man. You know, a lot of times, man, they kind of sell themselves. The big national guy. But man, for you to do 21 kids, man, let's talk about that process of the smaller schools. Yeah. Because again, man, you know, of course everybody want to go D1. It's everybody's dream. Yeah. But I'm saying, man, but how did you know, what kid is on what level? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You gotta have.
Hey, look though, but tell me that conversation you had with a parent though.
Oh yeah. You gotta have an eye for, and I think I'm pretty good at that. You gotta have an eye at what level kids play. Mm-hmm. You gotta be honest. You know, it is what it is. Now, me personally, I'm a Division I guy. Mm. Like I think that if your kid can play Division I, if I can't sign him Division I, he ain't D1.
Right.
Because I can get you there.
Right.
If you're really there.
Right.
So, everybody says this whole, all these other schools are better and all this type of stuff. Well, if the kid's D1, he needs to go D1.
Bottom line.
You don't need to undersign kids. There's a ton of schools that undersign kids. Mm. I mean, it may, I'm not going to speak no names. I ain't going to do anything like that. But, it's sad to me when there's a kid that's a Division I kid and he ends up signing at D2 school. Mm. That's sad. Especially if he got grades and qualified.
Yeah.
And because you did that kid an injustice. Mm. So I'm big on that stuff. And being able to have the eye for it. The big kids too. To kind of go back on your conversation a little bit. The big kids don't sell themselves like you think. Mm. They really don't. Like all this type of stuff, people will tell you this, man. They'll find you if you good. They'll find you. Mm-hmm. No, that ain't true. Mm-hmm. No, there's so many kids fall through the cracks because coaches don't do their job. Mm. It's all about coaches doing their job. Like coaches have to do something. If you don't do nothing, they ain't gonna find you. Right. These coaches got a gazillion kids in the country. They getting emails about. If for you to get that kid on that level, you got to push him.
Well, you said something then. Yeah.
You got to get your name in front of those guys. And that's one thing I do. I'm persistent, man. You talk to any college coach.
Hey,
look,
yeah.
You talk to any college coach, and they talk to Matt Neighbors, they be like, God, Matt Neighbors talks to me more than my wife.
Right.
So
right.
Like you got to wear those guys out. It's constant. And, the smaller school guys are a lot of a challenge because then you throw into the grade standpoint of it. Or, is he a Division II type of guy? But he might not qualify D2. He might need to go NAI. Would he be better off going JUCO if he's got Division I talent, go a couple years and then transfer up? So you got to kind of determine that, and you kind of lay that out with the parents. I'd always have a recruiting meeting before the season and after season with parents. It'd be just us, me, their child, and them. And I'd lay it out on board like this is your GPA, this is your ACT. I can't control that.
Right.
That's on you.
That's on
All right. So you got to give me what to work for. I work for you though. I'm like your agent. Okay. So you got to give me what to work with. And so I'll lay that out and we kind of lay out what his options are and we kind of go from there. And I'll be honest with them. Like I've had kids that are really, I'll use one for example.
Okay.
Keyshawn Cameron.
Okay.
Keyshawn Cameron.
Yeah.
He played center for us at Callaway. One of the best offensive linemen I've ever had. I mean, he was good. But he was a tad short. Mm. He's 6 foot, 310 pounds, films unreal, but he's a tad short. And you ain't going to get nobody taking 6 foot OL.
Right.
You just ain't. And but I told him, I was like, look, I said, I think if you go to a JUCO, let's do the JUCO route. And, if you kill it at that JUCO, some D1 might take a shot on you, just 'cause, even though you are short. So he did. He ended up going to JUCO route. And but that's one of the type of things you got to be honest.
One no conversation you got to have.
No matter how good you are, college football is all about metrics. You'll see a lot of guys. I've signed guys that are 6'5", 180, 190, or 300 pounds, whatever, and they got no business playing at Division I. But them schools will take them.
But they got their size.
Yeah, because they think high school coaches are idiots.
Right.
They be like, I fix it.
Right. Right.
So
right.
But it's that's what it is. It's all about metrics. That's the number one thing you got to have. If you ain't got metrics, you're going to have to fall. So But it is, you just got to have an eye for that stuff. Be honest with parents. Parents aren't bad. Parents are bad when you don't communicate. When you don't communicate and you aren't honest with them about their kids, that's when stuff happens.
That when stuff get a little shaky.
That's a lot of problem with coaches, man. Coaches don't want to talk to these parents. They don't want to be honest with them. Look, if that's your child, you want somebody to talk to you.
Right. So look, big dog, let me ask this, man. You know what I mean? Because people always ask me this on every sport, man. You know what I mean? They ask me, whose job is it? I'm gonna get your input on this. Who job? I mean, but you do a darn good job. It might be a tough question to ask you because you're gonna be a little scared a little bit. But anyway, man, whose job is it to get the kid recruited? Is it the coaches or is it the parents?
Oh, it's the coaches. No doubt. No, it's not. There's nothing. Now, here's the one thing you need parents to do.
Okay.
Parents have to, if the coach is doing it right, and I think I do it really well. All right, if they're doing it right, the coach communicates with the parent. Like, look, I need you to take him here. Make sure you get that done for me. I'll handle the rest. And or if you want to go somewhere, come to me. Let's get it done. Or if I get you this so and so offer, you need to go here. You know, that's all I need them to do.
Yeah.
I just need you to take them there.
Right.
You know. And now I personally don't think it's the coach's job to take them. I don't think that.
Okay.
You know, a lot of them think, parent, look, man, if the coach is doing it right and he worked his butt off and got you that, that's a free ride.
Right.
You gotta take your
right.
kid
Put the gas in that car, you take it.
Yeah. So I think
feel that.
But no, getting the kids the offer, that's the coach. Like if the coach has to do, like that's who they go through. Like a lot of parents think that they can email and they can send all this stuff to coaches. Man, coaches don't listen to parents. They don't even. Because
they're gonna think it's biased, right?
They don't even look at that stuff. So you got to have the coach sign off on it, and if the coach is doing it right, he's pushing it. It is their responsibility, and there's, it's sad. There's probably 65-70% of high schools in the state of Georgia that don't do it right.
That sucks, man.
Don't do it right. Yeah, I mean, it is sad. There's a lot of them around here that don't do it right.
But so I'm gonna ask you though, man. Do you think that? Okay, it's slightly different though. Now, can schools? I mean, you wouldn't know this part. Can school afford to hire just a recruiting coordinator?
No, but they can give it to a guy on staff. They're like, me, that's not just what I do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's part of what you do.
Yeah, I'm a football coach. That's just added to me, because I want to do it. But you got to find somebody on staff that does that. Like, that's their job. And that's on you as whoever the head coach is, that's on him to do that.
Right.
That's in today's day and age of high school football, if you don't do that, I don't want to hear you complaining when your kids transfer. Because that's why they're transferring. Man, kids want to look, there's three things kids want. High school kids want. And I'll tell you, it's always been this. High school kids want, they want to play at nice facilities.
Yep.
They want to wear the nicest gear.
Yep.
And they want to go to college. If you can do those three things, you ain't going to have no problem. You're never going to lose kids. And you're going to win.
Yeah.
It ain't hard.
Yeah.
It ain't rocket science.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
But, these coaches, a lot of coaches that don't do it right is because they're old school. And because they hadn't adapted to the time. Now, 95% of the guys that, these young coaches that are now, young head coaches, they do it right because they understand.
Where we at now? Yeah.
It's these old head guys. They don't want to fool with it. Or so they'll pawn it off on somebody that don't have a clue and they hadn't trained them up right. So then it's just a snowball effect of just terrible trash.
Yeah. So what had changed, man, in high school sports, in your opinion?
Definitely high school recruiting, man. It is like the going to college, that type of recruitment. That it has changed the whole game because it's social media.
Everybody hit on. So talking about social
media has changed it to where you got to be producing, you got to be putting these kids out, all this type of stuff, and if you don't, well, then it snowballs into the next thing. That is kids transferring to high schools. So it's a snowball effect. If it's not done right, you're not getting those kids exposed. And there are some instances where some parents are just unrealistic.
Right.
They want their kids to get recruited and their kids couldn't. I mean, they just
Can't chew. What is that? Chew gum and whatever that saying is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And walk something like that.
Yeah, they just can't. They're not good football players. They're not that, or they might have been good when they were 8 and 9.
Right.
They still are in that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, some guys is like that. You got to be honest with those parents. But yeah, social media is what's changed the game in recruiting. I mean, like Twitter, Instagram, you know, even Facebook's gotten out there some, but it's mostly on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, and I know this, I was one of the first people that started a Twitter recruiting account. I did that at Callaway when I first started in 16. So, and I was one of the first people to do it. Now everybody's got it, you know, because they kind of piggyback off that stuff. And it's a platform that every college coach is on.
Okay.
That you can push. Put your kid on there, and you tag all these other people, and it gets to them.
Gets to them,
You know, right there, without you even having to do, you still got to do your texts, your calls,
Right.
or all this stuff. But this gives you something else, and the community sees that you're working. You know, and you know, now there are some places now that'll do all that stuff, and they mask and all this stuff to show the community, I'm doing this for the kid. All stuff. They ain't doing nothing over here.
Yeah. They ain't doing that on the other end.
No, they ain't doing the important part. But you know, there's a lot of people doing it really good on social media right now.
Good.
A lot of schools that really do a good job. I think, you know, Matt's killing it at LaGrange.
Yeah.
His social media is off chain. Which I started that, by the way, too.
You did.
Big Blue Recruits. Baby.
You did start that. I do remember that.
So, you know, I started that whole deal, and he's in. I don't know who's took it over. Whether it's I think Burton's doing it now, Coach Thomas, but they do an unbelievable job, man. You talking about pumping out graphics, videos, dude. They are doing it to a level that even I had never thought of.
Wow.
I think Burton has a real good vision of with graphics and you know, videos and all that stuff to make it like a college, you know, and that's where they took it to the next level. And now everybody's picking back out. People see that, and you see them doing it. So I mean, it's a rat race, man. Everybody wants to do what everybody else wants to do.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Imitation is the biggest form of flattery. Baby.
You already know, man. So big dog, listen, man. I'm gonna ask you a question about, you know what I'm saying, you're coaching at Heritage. You know what I'm saying? When dealing with smaller schools, man, you know what I mean? Same thing you said earlier. You got kids that gotta go both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Man, how do you deal with the kid who you know is in the position he's not gonna play college in, but you need him at that position?
Yeah, I got a kid like that.
So how you deal with that?
Our quarterback's 5'9", 180 pounds, and can fly. Well, he ain't gonna play quarterback in college.
Right.
You know, he's a slot receiver, free safety. And it's all about those relationships you have with those coaches.
So I'm free though. Yeah, I'm about to say, from a recruit standpoint, how you deal with that.
Yeah, it's all about relationships with those coaches. They know, which, I mean, with us being small, he still gets some reps on defense. You kind of see. And I've got him to some camps to where they seen him backpedal. They see him got ball skills. But it's all about relationships. Like, I mean, these college coaches know what I got.
Yeah.
Well, they know when I send you a guy, it's a guy.
Right.
You know, and if I send you a text and I'm wearing you out about a guy, he's a dude. So, you know, they don't question me. You know, so it is what it is. I mean, people, like, that's the thing. When your kid plays for me, he's gonna go college. He's gonna play football.
Right.
He gonna play college football.
As long as he taking his other stuff.
Yeah, even if he don't take care of those stuff.
He going somewhere. He's somewhere he going.
Yeah, he might be playing JUCO somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
He playing somewhere.
Right.
So, because I got something for everybody. Like, and it's all about your clientele too. Like, you got to know what you got. Like, when I was at LaGrange, I never hardly dealt with Division III Ivy League schools. It was all, if you're not a D1 guy, you probably gonna have to go JUCO because you just ain't gonna have the grades to get anywhere else. It's just a great thing. Well, I go up to Heritage. Dog, I ain't gonna have no D2 guys. They ain't got like if they're not D1, they go in Ivy League. Like, everybody up there is a 4.0 to 30 ACT. So I probably won't ever deal with JUCOs again. I'll never probably deal with D2s again.
Simply because of, you know what I mean, because they grades down.
Yeah, so I ended up having to where from a D3 standpoint, I was pretty much dealing with your local guys, your LaGranges, your Berries, Huntingtons, all these around this area, just to keep them close. Where now I had to branch out. I had to bring up my D3 clientele, get all these Ivy League schools, get some of these like a Johns Hopkins, places like that.
Yeah.
To where because they're more education first. Yeah, I want to go play in college.
Right.
I want to be a doctor, or lawyer, all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just all about what you got.
I dig that. So, yo, big dog, listen, man, I sure appreciate you coming on, man. Just, you know what I mean? Dropping them gems, dog. But listen, man, at the end of every show, man, I get everybody. I'm gonna give you a little time to think about this.
Okay.
I'm gonna get everybody the opportunity, man, to leave the people with something positive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you got something positive to leave to the listener, to the viewers, man, what would it be, big dog?
Oh man, let's see. Well, I'm gonna say two things.
Okay.
All right. Parents, please make sure your kids are in good hands.
Yeah.
Especially if he's a good football player.
Yeah.
Don't, man. If you know that kid's a good football player, make sure he's in good hands.
Yeah.
Because that's his future. And once it's gone, it's gone.
It's gone. You cannot wind that thing back.
You ain't getting that back. So I want them to know that. And then for me, man, like, look, people be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Heritage School, baby.
It's coming, baby.
Remember that.
Yeah. Y'all heard it first on KaneSaid.
Game changer, baby. It's about to happen. Ain't gonna say nothing with a couple, we'll know something in a couple months, but a lot of stuff's finna go down, and this place is about to be unreal, man. It's gonna be it will be one of the premier private schools in the state of Georgia in 5 years. And I'll tell you this.
Give it to me.
Neighbors will never go back to public school, man. I'm a private school guy, baby.
Really?
Oh, dog.
Really?
I'd never leave, man. I wish I'd have did it. I wish I did it from the start.
Really?
Yeah. It's different atmosphere, man. Like from overall, your work, your football, everything.
Yeah, different.
No, that's where it's at, though. Hey, where it's at.
Real talk.
That public school, it ain't it, baby. That ain't for me.
They know that
ain't
private.
for me.
That private you.
I'm a private guy.
Man, that what's up. So, yo, hey, look, plug your social media, man.
Yeah, man, y'all check. Check. You can get me out on Twitter. I'm at Coach_Neighbors. That's my personal account. It's private, but you can send me a request. I'll follow you back. And then, check out Heritage's football Twitter, man, at capital THS_football. We trying to do it big right there, getting that thing started. So go check that out. Check some of our kids out. We got some ballers out there, man, that are as good as anybody around this area. So, check them out and, keep up with us, man. We on the rise.
Yeah. Yo, listen, I'm going to pull up one day, man. So Hollywood.
Listen. I want you to do a pregame speech. When can I get that?
Man, holler at me. Let me know, baby.
Hey,
listen.
We got Bowden this week. I might call you in for that. I need some heat this week.
Man, listen, man. Holler at me. Also, I'm going to bring the fat head. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? For the student to get turned up, man. So
student section at Heritage off chain. Dog.
Really?
Yeah.
I need that, man. So holler whoever need to holler and say, yo, can KaneSaid pull up? He want to bring the fat head. We were going to the max.
Let's do it, buddy.
Sounds good, big dog.
Guy,
man, appreciate it, big homie.
Sir, baby.
Appreciate you. Yo, everybody, again, man, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Got my boy neighbors in the house, man. Yeah, y'all get ready to check them out, man. Some big things about to happen, baby. Y'all know what it is. KaneSaid, zip them up, baby.